This video will demonstrate printing of the Tenant Income Certification Form, commonly known as a TIC. We'll begin by selecting an account in the applicant tenant file. From here, we'll navigate to the Research Form screen where the TIC form is found. Here I can see a history of my past actions. And what we're looking to do here is to generate the TIC form. So we're going to go ahead and select the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit TIC form. Because some additional input is required before the TIC form can be produced, you'll get to the same next screen regardless of selecting Preview or Print. Here you'll see a history of prior TIC forms for this tenant. If your configuration allows, you may select the appropriate TIC form from the output form list. For many of you, this will have defaulted to the only TIC appropriate for your setup. Before you can preview or print a TIC for your most recent action, it must appear in the list of historical actions. To create a new entry, you'll click on the button labeled New. The current tenant account will be pre-selected for you. However, if necessary, you could select a prior account for this individual. Select the appropriate type of certification. The effective date will have defaulted to that of your most recent action. If necessary, you could select an effective date from any prior action. The only other editable information is the ability to specify a special set-aside if applicable, as well as tagging any family members that are full-time students. I'll select Next to continue. The annual income and income from assets applicable to your most recent action are displayed. This information is editable using the Add and Delete buttons, but in most cases, you'll simply select Next to continue. Indicate the appropriate percent for which the household meets the income restriction, according to what is required by the set-asides for this property. Enter the utility allowance if applicable. Enter the rent assistance amount and source if applicable. You may also enter the amount of non-optional charges such as mandatory garage rent, storage lockers, or other charges for services provided by the development. If all occupants are full-time students, select the appropriate student explanation. I'll click Save to continue, and now I can select Preview or Print. Here we can see the Tenant Income Certification form, and I'll just quickly scroll through it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that. The button labeled New Historical is intended to produce historical TIC records. It was designed so the user could enter minimal information from paper TIC forms in order to have that information available in the tenant file. If you have been using HTS since your tax credit program began, you won't have any need to use this feature. You may also use the Delete button to delete an incorrect TIC record.